All right, everybody, welcome in. Welcome into this very rainy day. This is a weekly reading for whoever needs to hear this message. So this is not really tied to a zodiac sign, although in the extended, I pull cards for each zodiac just to give you a little deeper understanding of what's going on, and you can use them for yourself or another person. Those readings. Second thing, the morning message is going to stay at 7 a.m. publishing 7 a.m. Eastern time. Y'all have told me that that's what you want, and so I will continue to do that. The proposed change was about serving the audience better or serving the community better. And if that's not it, then we're not doing it. Okay. So there you go. 7 a.m. it is. See you tomorrow morning. Okay. Let's see what's going on for you right now. Okay. Trust. Lucky. Psychic. And knowledge. Okay. I do feel like there's a transition going on right now. Whoever I'm connecting to, there's a transition going on right now that you're just going to have to trust is going to work out in your favor. Here's your mantra. Everything is always working out for me. So no matter what it looks like, I think we get into trouble when we think things should look a certain way. And this is about you saying, okay, universe, I am aligned with abundance. I'm aligned with love. I'm aligned with all these things that I'm looking to manifest in my life. And the universe is seeing things from such a bigger perspective. They're not really just seeing it from our point of view, obviously, right? They're seeing it. The universe, God, spirit, is experiencing all of this happening at once. Okay, all of this happening at once. The universe, God, gave you this, what word was I going to say? Gave you this gift so that you can manifest, right? And the universe just says, okay, universe is always saying yes to you. So if you're kind of backtracking or having self-doubt, the universe goes, okay, hold up. And that can delay things. So your job is everything is always working out for me, no matter what things look like. Sometimes things need to move around in other people's lives. Sometimes things need to move around energetically for the collective, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of moving parts, just saying, okay? And so when we have this kind of idea, if we're manifesting a person, that it should look a certain way, and then we get freaked out because it doesn't look that way, I just want you to recognize that there's a lot of moving parts, okay? Everything is always working out for me. So some of you are opening up to some new gifts, some new psychic gifts. Some of you could be opening up telepathy with a twin flame or with a partner. Some of you could just be opening up to your gifts. In the last 2 weeks, in my Pathfinders group, I have been teaching about the pendulum and how to work with the pendulum in terms of knowing what your gifts are, knowing who your spirit guides are. It's a really terrific tool. So I recommend, if you want to learn more about that, seek out the pendulum and seek out information on the pendulum. Okay, so let's see where the reading wants to take us, because this is about knowledge. We are in Gemini time, and Gemini is all about learning. Okay, it's all about learning. And so part of it is an intuitive learning, understanding yourself, learning about how the universe works, learning about manifestation, learning. Okay, this also, I never really thought of it this way, but this is Sagittarius, right? Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. And that looks like the South Node to me. The South Node is exalted in Sagittarius. The North Node is exalted in Gemini, which is basically saying, another way of saying that it's the most powerful. The nodes are the most powerful in those signs. It doesn't mean that if you don't have a North Node in Gemini, that you aren't powerful in terms of manifesting your purpose on this planet. It just means that when North Node is in Gemini, or if you have North Node in Gemini, that's the energy of the node is at its most pristine, at its most powerful. North Node is also considered a malefic in Rahu Ketu in Vedic astrology. It's considered a mischievous planet, or a mischievous or a teacher. kind of thing, just like Saturn and just like Mars. Those are other examples of malefic planets in your birth chart, and they can teach you a lot. And the North Node is also stretching you. The North Node is also making you go beyond what you think you can possibly do. So there's something here about opening up to spiritual gifts, diving into knowledge about them, something like that for whoever this message is for. Nine of Pentacles. Wow. Judgment, the Ace of Swords. Wow. Emperor and the Fool. I almost feel, so for some of you, this may not apply to all of you, so just take what resonates, as I always say. Some of you are recognizing that freedom is the path. When we speak our truth, freedom becomes our path. Something like that. Some of you may be waiting for another person to make a choice. This is a decision card. We are in Gemini time, and Gemini, the card of Gemini, the Lover's card, is all about choice. And so this Ace of Swords, I feel like for some of you, a divine masculine is going to be reaching out and telling you about a decision they've made to be free. For some of you, this is your inner masculine expanding yourself in the world and saying, because masculine's about taking action. And this is about taking action aligned with your truth. All right. Not in alignment with people pleasing or getting approval from anybody, but about doing what you know to be right. What you know is right for you anyway. And it's a personal thing. So it may not be right for all people. It may not be just a general truth. I think that's where a lot of people misunderstand when we talk about truth. Like there's your truth and there's my truth, and then there's the truth, which is kind of a different animal. It's a completely different animal. And I'm looking at this and saying, how I was talking about the North Node or the universe seeing things from a big perspective. Look at how he's looking up. He's not really looking down. He's looking up to the heavens. He's looking up to his higher self. He's looking up to spirit and saying, okay, I'm moving on from one situation. Now what? Okay. And the universe is like, well, you're the one who's co-creating. I'm just here to move the pieces around. So it's not that you look to some sky daddy or something out there, right? Spirit is within you. You are a piece of the divinity. And okay. It's like, I'm taking responsibility now. So this could be a masculine taking responsibility for their own life, for their own choices, kind of working with that and recognizing, okay, I've got to take responsibility for this choice. If I want to move on, if I want to get free in another part of my life or in let's say in career choices, okay, I've made all these choices. And now I can see that if I want to do something different, this is going to be the path. And I'm going to have to take responsibility for being on that path. This Nine of Pentacles makes me feel like there's a lot of self-confidence that's needed to do this. And I feel like you're being granted that. If you're the one who's taking action, there is some kind of either support, some kind of support. Could be financial support, could be moral support, could be emotional support, spiritual support, whatever it is. Feeling that support that you can make this decision now. You can make this choice, okay? Five of Wands, Nine of Cups, Six of Cups. Wow, some of you, I feel like this message is for somebody who knows that they're making a big decision and in the past may have been swayed by what other people wanted or what other people thought was good or right or just or virtuous or smart. And now it's sort of like, I don't really care what they think anymore. I'm going with my own energy here. So if you're doing that, or if you are on the precipice of making a big choice, this does feel to me like there will be backers, there will be support, there will be love. If you're deciding to move away from a relationship, and have been afraid to do so, there's a lot of people who will support you in that. If you've decided to make a change in your career, same deal. Okay. I feel like some of you fear or have feared in the past what other people would think about something. And you might have just gotten to the point where you're like, zero fucks given. Because I'm the one that has to live this. And I frequently think back to when I was in television, when I was working as a producer for Good Morning America and for NBC. And I recognized that talking about the job was way better than doing the job, like what other people thought of it. It was an ego boost, like, wow, that's amazing. And I was like, it's really not. Not for me anyway. Okay. It's for other people, it's amazing. But for me, it wasn't amazing. And I was like, okay, well, I'm the one that has to get up and go to work every day. I'm the one that's going to be living this life. And I no longer care that other people think whatever they think. Let them think. Let them do it. Let them think it. You're not really going to control that anyway. Okay, some of us, I will put myself in the category in the past of like trying to control how other people think about us. But that's really more ego than actually stepping into our power. So the 4 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 3 of Wands, 5 of Swords. Look at that in the past. 3 of Pentacles and the Devil card. Wow. Okay. So there's something about this money situation or this, it is going to require effort. Okay. This is Saturn. So this is Capricorn ruled by Saturn. And Saturn believes in taking things, or Saturn believes that for you to really truly gain a benefit from something, you must walk it one step at a time. You must put in the time and effort. You must do the learning. Okay. You must do the learning for yourself experientially, as opposed to reading a book about it or as opposed to hearing someone else talk about it. Other people can inspire you or suppress it, right? Like just the same. And if you want to really care about what someone else thinks, it's not really about what they think about you. It's sort of like listen to someone else talk about their own journey, listen to their story. Sometimes other people's stories can be really inspiring. And it's not that you're going to have exactly the same experience, but it is showing you that somebody else did what you wanted to do and survived to tell the tale. All right. So somebody left a marriage behind and here they are walking around happy, blah, blah, blah. They didn't burst into flames. All right. Someone left a career path. They didn't fall down a well. I feel like this 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords, it's like what other people are saying. It's shifting out of either being around people who kind of throw cold water on your dreams, as opposed to like being around people who inspire you. Okay. Being around people who inspire you, because you are the only one after all who can make that choice. And that's what the 4 of Swords is. It's kind of like healing from the need to get approval from other people. Now, this is in the recent past. This is happening just now, where you may be stepping into this. Okay, I care what I think. I care what happens with me and who I'm connected to in terms of my own changes in my life. I'm making changes in my life. Yes. Will that impact other people? Likely. Can impact kids, can impact spouses, can impact a whole bunch of things, friends, especially if you're moving or if you're leaving something behind and it really requires you to get out into the world more, because when we play it safe, when we make the safe choice, we keep ourselves small. And it's not to say it's one of those lessons. I don't know if you're the one learning this lesson or someone around you is, but to stay safe, to play it safe is to stay small. If you are afraid of being seen or afraid of making a mistake or afraid of other people laughing at you or doing something that they think is crazy or whatever, you've got to get more powerful in your own alignment. You've got to know, like, well, yeah, I know that you think that, but this is true for me. This is what is true for me. And the 7 of Swords here, I'm getting the feeling that some of you are going to align with, okay, I know what it is now. And I'm not going to tell people, I'm not going to try and uh, um, build consensus. I'm not going to try. A lot of Libras, I'm a Libra rising. So a lot of Libras, a lot of people who are in Libra anywhere in your chart, but like especially sun or moon, if you're in that place of like, you want other people to say, you know what, I think that's a great idea. And what Libra is learning in this lifetime, especially if you have a Libra um, South Node, a Libra ascendant, a Libra sun, or a Libra moon. I don't know why I'm picking on Libra. I shouldn't. But what it is balance it out with a little bit of Aries. If you feel, and this can work with any of the zodiac signs. If you feel like you got too much Aries, meaning I don't give a rat's ass what anybody else says to me ever, there might be a need to add a little Libra, right? Build a little more consensus around things, as opposed to, oh, wow, what everybody else is saying, because you don't know what's going on with other people. Other people can be fearful. You can have surrounded yourself with people who are constantly afraid of change or whatever that is. It's sort of like you got to know your own truth here. You got to know it and then do it without having to build some kind of consensus. If it does impact somebody else's life, of course, you're going to need to discuss it with them. But you're going to also need to create your own plans. You're going to need to create. And by the way, I feel like you're surrounded by luck. Okay. And this can be a karmic blessing, South Node, from the past life, a karmic blessing in this lifetime. I'm really getting that says you can do something different. Three of Pentacles. You can build something that isn't, is it work and effort? Sure. Yep. But what we're talking about here is turning our back on an old way of being and instead starting to trust ourselves, learn that we can do things, that we can meet the challenge of the day, that we can overcome things that have been in the past really daunting. But the past here is not much of a model because there has been a lot of, oh, I didn't do that because my best friend thought it was a stupid idea, or my mother was terrified of that because she lived through the Depression or something like that. And the way things work energetically now, and with you being aligned with your truth, there's a certain amount of, okay, help me do this, help me bring in good luck, help me. And like, that's the part that is changing, where you're introducing meditation, you're introducing manifestation techniques, you're introducing how you're working with your internal states, especially if they're constantly trying to keep you small. Okay, so let me get a little more clarity here around this devil energy. Some of you may have a circumstance or a person that you feel is insurmountable. That you feel is insurmountable. King of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Hierophant, and the Nine of Wands. This is a boundary or a person or a commitment that you keep butting up against, that can be comfort. It can be about, yeah, but I'm too comfortable in this way of life, even though I feel drained by it. I'm still too comfortable to make some kind of move. There's a sense of, also, some of you are in relationships that have become very stagnant. And the first order of this may be to be better at communicating about what you want in life and see if that person is willing to make some kind of changes. I'm getting that some of you have already been down this road and they're not willing to make changes. They feel that this is the path that they should be on. And if so, you might be leaving that person behind. And it's like, I'm getting this message. I don't know who this is for, but it doesn't have to be a career path or anything like that. It just has to be about an unhappiness or an unwillingness by one's partner to grow, an unwillingness to step out of a comfort zone, an unwillingness, because this is about comfort and tradition. And I feel like it's been a mirage. It's not really brought you comfort you might feel that way, but it's really brought you stagnation. And this is Nine of Wands to prove it. Like, you've got the hash marks down to the ground of like, wow, everything has been a chore, everything has been a lesson, but also I'm holding on to these lessons. There's a real stagnation here. Okay, there's a real stagnation, and I feel like you're turning away from that. Turning away from stagnation. Oh yeah, Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Hermit, Tower. I just feel like you might need a teacher, like I was saying about other people's stories. Okay, other people's stories or other people who have done what you want to do. I feel like you should seek those out because it's going to be aha, enlightening. Okay. And yes, Ace of Cups, Four of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups. Wow. So lots of new things can happen when you do that. And this Hermit is going to be very healing because I feel like you kind of see the beginning of the path, right? This is like, all right, I see the beginning, but I can't really see through that gate. I don't really know what happens next. No, that's true. But what's happening is it's putting you back into this energy of anxiety. So your job is to kind of blow that apart with that Tower and seek out someone who's done this, someone who knows the terrain. It might not be exactly the same as you, but to be inspired by someone else who's made some changes in their life is to be empowered. And also to help you understand your own alignment with your own truth. It's really time to kick up your meditation game. That's communing with yourself. It's getting to know yourself better. That's what meditation is. Getting to know who you are better on this, especially on this new path. So let's keep going here. If this is your reading, there's a link below if you want to continue on with me. Like I said, I'll pull cards for each zodiac sign to give you some advice. All right, link is below. I'll see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.